the cunning git that's bringing the kill rigs to get the hits. So we have Keaton Marschman, where he kicked it back to Index Hammer as well. So we have these gits out here that understood the core fundamentals that we've seen this whole weekend. And Keaton said, I'm kicking it back to what I know is great. So we have we have War Horde with the saturation of kill rigs, beast, a battle wagon, and multiple trucks. That is Transport City, man. He was just up there, up the field, really laying it down. So I wish I had notes from this get too. I was really excited to see this. Yeah, here it is. As for he got really good high scoring games too. Now, as for the Squig City event, it was an 83-person event in the United States. So yeah, that's fantastic. Nice, healthy size player event, and to do a great job with just some meat and potatoes esque of War Horde. So he goes, oh, that's you right now. I think that's he's in chat. What's good? He said, woo, let me know if you got questions on my list. Typically, if you ever someone who watches this, hit me up before they do the stream and we can get all the dirty little secrets. But I'm glad you're here. Shout out to you, the bad axeman, Mr. Keaton Marschman. Maybe you could throw the chats in the description if that's you. So we have the missions I meant. We have 2 beast bosses followed by triple war bosses, 2 beast Snagga Boyz followed by 1 big 20-man unit of boys, 2 10-man unit of boys, 4 trucks, a battle wagon, 1 unit of Gretchen, 1 unit of commandos, 2 kill rigs, and then 2 5-man units of Nobz. Boy, that's where it's at. Love to see it. Love to see that many transports, to be honest. So we have the commandos, right? I love to see the commandos because one thing you're gonna see is that it's so easy to get jailed on this list. So I like that he used that to keep him off. And then he has just saturation of waves, right? I like that instead of going for a third brig, he went for the wagon because a lot of the time one of those things is going to be just a little more exposed than the other, and you're gonna have to kind of hold it down with some toughness. Sorry, I got a little distracted. So SWAT teams and then 4 trucks. Goodness, guys, can you imagine deploying 7 transports of this variety and all filled with boys, and then on your go turn on the WAAAGH turn, you're just vomiting out just orc bodies all over the battlefield? That is fantastic. Absolutely love to see it. And again, there's no Storm Boys, as we can see, but what there is 10 WAAAGH Tactic gifted memberships. Whoa! So I absolutely love to see it. And of course, on this kind of list, it's about, the enemy has to spend most of his assets shooting your transports down, hoping that they can focus down the contents that's inside of them, and then that they've set up enough screens that you can't wall into them and run them over. You don't see any dock on this list. You don't see anything other than the kill rigs a little bit themselves. So it's really much about, I'm just going to put so much assets in your face, run over your screens, and even after that, I'm going to continue momentum killing you. I'm going to tank shock to create holes if I have to. I'm going to, just lay on the layers with this army. It's like an onion, So we're going to call Keaton Marschman's onion list. So let's take a look at his path to victory. Shout out to our sponsors, the Baron of Dice, as they helped us do our wall tactic dice. So shout them out. Check them out in the description, 5% off in the discount because nobody likes taxes. And shout out to Baron of Dice. They allow us to do our paint competition. So thank you very much to them. First mission, he has the Eldar. We have Avatar of Cain, Farseer Skyrunner, and then Fugan. Triple Wind Riders, a Fire Dragon, Shining Spears, Shroud Runner, Striking Scorpion, 2 Viper. Never see those. And then a War Walker, followed by 2 units of Warlock Skyrunners, 3 units of Warp Spiders. Dang, that's a lot of units, boy. A lot of units and a lot of Wind Riders. You would think those Wind Riders would be an issue for popping those transfers, but not for this get right here. The Avatar of Cain. Just keep in mind, guys, mortal wounds are king here when you're trying to take the Avatar of Cain down. And you probably absolutely love that you have a war tower to just constantly keep overwatching and shooting him. And you're in the chat. Let me know what happened. How'd you deal with those triple Wind Riders? As you can see, he does have at least 1 Fire Dragon unit. Didn't bring a bunch of them. But typically the Wind Riders, from what I remember, do all right into vehicles, but maybe not. As for how this would look played out, well, think of it this way. Our boy Keaton has a lot of units. The Eldar player also has a lot of units, but somebody has mobile bunkers and the other doesn't. The other decides he's going to put the Avatar in the middle of the table, and then he's going to get dummy wad on real hard. So that's most likely what happened there. Would love to know the mission. But let's move on to game 2. And you let me know what was the going on with those Wind Riders, those 3 6 bricks in the chat, so those guys can get caught up. They move on to the second game where he goes into the Tau Empire. So he has 2 Cadre Fireblade, Cold Star Battlesuit, Ethereal, 2 units of Breachers. Pretty potent for Orks. Pretty potent for Orks. These guys, if you're on objectives, are going to be rolling wounds. A big unit of boys hates to see these. And you don't have a pain boy, so this would be rough. You gotta be cunning. Knife fire. Sorry. A crisis knife fight fire knife. Sorry, fire knife battlesuit. 2 hammerhead gunships with braille guns. 2 units, 3 units of Croup Carnivores. 1 rampager. 2 piranhas. Those are nice. Followed by 2 riptide battlesuits, and then triple stealth battle suits with 2 units of Vespids for the deep straw. Like I said, if you're ever playing against fellow Xeno, just we're gonna say generalize here. If you're playing against fellow Xenos, understand that they want to trade bodies for points just like you do. They want to control that mid table of the table part of the table and beyond it. And they're willing to play attrition and kind of create space and keep you at arm's length as an orc player. So one, I think hopefully you went first. This would be a big impactful. So one, going first against these guys and understanding if you place your commandos first, you can actually block out those stealth suits, which would be problematic as well. So deploying mandos for infiltrate, nice big deal. Where you can depending, I don't know what your layouts were or anything like that, but in some layouts it's a really big deal. Two, the fact that you have so many saturation here of units, really, they want to do. I'm using it not by assembly, but Tau usually want to do damage by kind of group association, right? I'm sure there's a better way to word this, but they usually want to go around where they kind of shoot everything all together and slowly dwindle a unit between multiple units down, unless it's that one breacher unit and your boys unit on an objective. In that case, they can spot you and they can shoot you down and reroll wounds. That's what's sustained. That's sustained. That can go crazy, but other than that, everything else really wants to kind of dwindle you. So if you're presenting so many targets at once, running through them, and like he actually said in chat already, is that he was getting into combat with his transports and able to actually pick up some of these smaller units in the screens as well, which is really how this list works, because remember, they're all getting sustained also. So yeah, he had a 100-point win there, big old W. And then we move on to a game 3. So we have Chaos Demons. You have a blood. Oops, I didn't let you guys see. You went Chaos Demons with the Blood Legion. Okay, I have an idea what this is. We have a Bloodmaster, a Demon Prince of Chaos, Red Master, Blood Throne, Scarbrands, and the Skull Taker. You're going to see Scarbrand a lot more in this world. Bloodletters, 2 units of the. Well, sorry, let's see, more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of Bloodletters. Love it. And then a Brick of Nurglings. What are you guys doing? It's a core detachment. 1 unit of Blood Crusher, 2 3-man units of Blood Crushers, followed by 3 Flesh Hound unit. Oh, so just a bunch of skirmish MSU trading, followed by a couple, 1 big old demon of Scarbrand and the Demon Prince. Runmaster, of course, can give them additional AP and 1 damage once in a while. So that's actually pretty sick of a matchup. I love to see that. This is, they have to run into your transports. They have no guns. They have no guns, and you can fight on death. So I'm not saying it's an easy win, because they could beat the crap out of you, and there's a lot of them. And of course, there's ways that one of them could charge into a transport, and then another unit activates and piles into the unit that disembarked from your transport. So there are ways for them to get involved and kill you. And of course, if that happens, you cannot fight on death because you're battle shocked. So it's not as linear as you ought to win. I'm just saying you have the tools to win this. It really comes down to the details of the combat phase. And in this case, he got an 82-point win. So it was actually his lowest score. Was it 90? Was it 99-point win? I think I just said last one was 100, so it has to be. Yeah, this was actually 100. So 99-point win. So it was a 99-point win there. So this one, it was a good game, but I think it came down to the details of the combat phase. So now we move on to his 4th game, which was into World Eaters. And this version of World Eaters doesn't necessarily exist anymore, from what we understand. So yeah, this is just the older Demon Prince, World Eaters. Cool. Mauler Fiends and Chaos Spawn and 8-Bound. This isn't going to play the list the same anymore. There's going to be new versions of World Eaters you got to pay attention for, but it's all good. There's just, great job by winning against them in combat, trading out. I'm not going to go over the list there, but World Eaters is a lot about when you're playing War Horde is resource allocation, because usually they're a lot more elite and bricked up than you. So great job win there. It's not really easy. That's why 82-point win. It was his lowest scoring win, but yeah, awesome, dude. Love to see it. Then we move on to his 5th and final game, where he went into Gene Stealers. Ooh, I actually freaking love this list into Gene Stealers, to be honest. So we have triple benefactors, yeah. We had a Primus, two Reductus Saboteurs, followed by 3 minimum size units of hybrids with flamers. Actually, it was 4. And then he had 5 of these big bricks of neophyte hybrid. So it's pretty crazy. We've seen this twice in this already on the stream. And then 3 units of pure strain Gene Stealers. These are their infiltration or their scouting, excuse me. These are their scouting gets. They move up the field, try to get up early game 1 charges if they can, or just screen up for them for the big bricks. And then triple Achilles Ridge Runners. This is where I actually freaking love the army. Like I said, the fact that he has all these fat old transports and units that can get outside of him and beat the crap out of you means that there's not like a reliable way that he's going to really take the initiative. Other than just running up and charging transports. Of course, you can do infiltration so that you can actually help offset those Gene Stealers, which would be a big problem if you had no commandos. So shout out to you, Keaton, because the fact that you looked at this and you said, well, it's a parking garage. It's either I pay for a couple Docker guns, right? Or I pay for commando. I can get a couple flamer units, try to make some fancy SWAT teams, or I can just straight up pay for commandos. That was a good call. Because if you don't have the commandos, then you're going to get jailed by something like all those Gene Stealers that are going to just hold this whole value brick of I have a bunch of stuff I can vomit out into you, and then just bring a bunch of bricks down from deep shirks and reserve, and then you can never get off on them. So the fact that you could push them back, and then you can choose, well, I'm going to turn my kill rig sideways, I'm going to push them up the field, and then I'm going to make your bricks kind of charge into them, keep them off the objectives, and I'm going to beat the crap out of you everywhere else. I like to see it. I thought you did a great job. Of course, you could do that with Trukks too. So you just have so much table space with that. Did he even have like ridge runners? Okay, at least he had a couple of ridge runners, right? But then you're like, well, I'm gonna overwatch you with the war tower. No, I'm just kidding. But you could, and then even just them knowing that could be an issue. So 100-point win there. Absolutely love it because that's how you got to treat Gene Stealers. You got to run up on them, take up all their space, and get a nice 100-point W on him for that. So great job in that, Mr. Keaton Marschman. So 100-point win on that last one. So he got 2 100s and then a 99. Boy, you were going hard right there, man. I absolutely love it. I wish we spoke before stream. Of course, if you're in Discord or on Facebook, Mr. The Bad Axeman right here, what's up? That hit me up. We could talk sometime about this. Other people would like it, so it'd be cool. Great job. And that's his one comment. He said the commandos were great every game. Jailed so many people turn 1, including the Lord of Skulls. Oh yeah, I love that, dude. And your picture destroying a Necron, I freaking love that too. That's a cunning get. Understanding that even though he's playing War Horde and he's just gonna go for the table space, the controlling, the presence, the ability to put the pressure on the enemy instead. I love that. I love that he just was like, I'm gonna take that risk and play for those. I don't think everybody has to do that. It is very pilot dependent because it does take like some reps and understanding of deployments. But I do think that orc players should very much consider it as the meta adapts because infiltration, scouts, and stuff like that are such a big deal in all of 40K. So shout out to you, Mr. Keen. I'm glad to see you here. And yeah, I'd love to see you again in the future. And then we have our boy right here, Mr. Murdermouth Blood Axe. He said, Orc hobby is best. Your problem, second army is a pain. Yeah, orcs are not a problem, but I do focus that I do usually suggest that you focus at least on growing them slowly because it usually takes a lot. All right. So that being said, let's say this list one more time. We have 2 beast bosses, triple war bosses, 2 beast bosses, 2-piece Snagga Boyz with those 2 beast bosses, a 20-man unit of boys, 2 10-man unit of boys, 4 Trukks and the Battlewagon, and 2 kill rigs plus the commando, Gretchen, and then 2 5-man units of Nobz. Boy, this went crazy. Can you imagine the table space here? Enemies are just, damn, what do I shoot? Oh man, it's coming down the field at me too. Oh. And then they're like, I got this super brick, and they throw it at you, and you're like, I just surrounded with 20 boys. I don't even care. And everybody else keeps running up the field. Oh man, I love that. This, even though I'm not playing War Horde right now, this kind of War Horde list in the end. And the one we covered earlier, we're definitely calling out to me because you guys really understood the identity of Orks and the War Horde itself and just pulled it from its grassroots, took advantage of the WAAAGH changes, and the fact that they didn't see us coming. Be a cunning get and check out our new order markers that are in our store. So shout out to you gets being cunning. Help you guys get all the orders set on the table, nice and clean for all you gets to get stuck in. If you enjoyed the clip, check out the full video here. If you'd like to see more tactics, click here.
Let's get stuck in, lads!